Aquaba, and welcome to Expat Life Ghana. I'm Ayo, and this is Tony, and we're documenting our move from Texas to Ghana as we go beyond the return.
In this video, African Americans are leaving Ghana in droves.
Lies!
So let's get this video started. Okay, I recently watched this video that suggested that African Americans were leaving Ghana in droves.
Droves?
And I was like, wait, what? And
Drove sounds a little excessive.
right, I'm like,
kind of implies
like there's an exodus.
Right.
And I was like, So I continued watching the video, and that led me to another video with the same title, and I realized the people making the videos had not visited Ghana and were in the United States talking about Ghana.
Yeah, so there was a lot of buzz around Ghana in 2019 for the year of return.
Yeah.
And a ton of people came as part of that initiative. Not only regular people, but like superstars.
Yeah.
Who was here?
Dave Chappelle, Kanye West,
Steve Harvey
Idris Elba,
Beyonce
Boris
came.
Kojo.
There were a lot of folks. It was a
Oprah,
lot.
everybody was here. Everybody was here. Nancy Pelosi.
Did she count us?
Yeah, the Pelosi was here. You name it, they were here.
So there was a lot of buzz, and a lot of people made plans to move based on that initiative. They came or they saw a lot of media around what it was like to live here, so they decided they were going to come.
Yeah.
Now here we are in 2023, 4 years since the year of return. Do you feel like we're all running away now? Is that?
I don't see it.
What do you see?
I do have to agree with some of what he said in who was leaving.
Yeah. But what is your take on it so far? Like,
my take on it,
that there's an exodus right now?
I don't see an exodus. I'd see the exact opposite. I see, more people coming, more interest in people coming. So I don't see the people leaving.
What makes you think there's more of an interest in coming, or that more people are coming?
Well, we run a small little travel and tourism company, and business has not dipped at all. And looking at our future, we have bookings into next April already. So I don't see a drop in people coming in at the airport. I don't see a drop in people I socialize with who are from the States or anything that they're saying that there's a drop in people leaving. So
yeah. Until those airplanes start arriving half full.
In fact, from what we're seeing, there's more airlines that are coming into Ghana having more direct flights from the United States now.
Yeah, so it seems like there's more, at least here in Ghana, there's more of a push to get people here, yes. Which might not directly associate with Americans specifically, but just general travel trends for at a global stance. So what I wanted to pop to next was this idea that the person who was talking had some valid points. And in that, here is a question that I wanted to ask you. Why do you think people who come to Ghana might leave?
I think people coming here would leave because they're not ready to live in a developing country.
This is a whole different kind of thing, y'all.
Yeah. Everything, all of the Western amenities are here, but they are not all together. Not a lot is well maintained here in Ghana. So they may be used to, hey, the here and now culture, the me first, I have my rights culture. And that's not here in Ghana. There's a
you can have that experience. It's going to cost you.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a cost involved with that.
You can have it. You can have it all.
Right. And I don't think a lot of people come here realizing how much they are on their own. when it comes to schooling, when it comes to trash collection, when, you know, when it comes to the challenges of getting your electric paid if you aren't on the app or something like that.
I know everybody. Remember when we first came and we were like, we have to go take our card, and they were like, just get the app. And I was like, listen, our box doesn't have the app. We are not app apply. Like that doesn't
Right.
apply where we live.
So there's some small challenges that I don't think
Yeah.
people understand coming in here.
So that sounds like it's definitely all related to infrastructure. And I think infrastructure includes the state of the roads,
Mm-hmm.
the reliability of water and lights,
Yes.
and also just the ability to get the goods and services that you need when you need them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that also like includes stuff like education and healthcare.
Right.
Yeah. So I think another reason why people may leave is because they didn't look at the budget as well as they thought, or as well as they needed to.
Right.
They didn't think it wasn't what they thought it was going to be.
You know, I think a lot of people get confused with this conversion rate of the dollar to the CD. And I remember talking to a cousin before coming to Ghana, and I was telling him about, you know, the conversion rate and how that worked. And he didn't fully understand it. And I think a lot of people may come to Ghana without the correct understanding that if I give you 100 CDs and they're going to give me,
if you give them $10,
or if I give them $100 and they're going to give me, you know, 1,100 CDs back, and then you think, oh wow, that's a come up, but really, I mean, you really still got that same $100.
Yeah.
You know, so you say, oh, I can go there and buy a car, bring it back. Well, if you're gonna go buy a $40,000 car, you're gonna give them $40,000. And then you can bring it back, which makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like there's
actually the $40,000 car that you would think you would buy here for $40,000 is actually coming in from abroad. So it's a $60,000 or $70,000 car that you would then pay to move somewhere. Yeah, it doesn't. There's no math there.
Right. So I don't think people come here understanding the conversion rate. If you give somebody $100 and they give you 1,100 CDs, well, that 1,100 CDs isn't going to spend, you know, like, oh,
$1,100.
Yeah, like $1,100. It's going to spend like 1,100 CDs. So you have to come here knowing how much the CD can get you.
And I think that there's a learning curve in that because it's not consistent, right? So like what you said, if you came here with $100 and they gave you 1,100 CDs, and if in your mind you're thinking 1,100 CDs, I can live for a whole month on 1,100 CDs. That might be true if you were living a certain kind of lifestyle, right? But if you are here as an American trying to live as an American with the American amenities and goods and services that you are accustomed to, that $100 is like $50. I feel like it gets even
less.
It gets you a little less than you think. And so there has to be a really thoughtful consideration of how you're going to afford the life that you're trying to build here. And that, I think, is a large driver of people leaving, is they came without an adequate nest egg or without a fully realized process for earning money, or with the idea that they were going to come and open up their own business and not realizing how difficult that actually is and how much capital you actually need to do that.
Yes.
So I feel, that's...
Join the conversation. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think.
Right. And, you know, when Ghana put out the call, the year return, you know, come home, you know, a lot of people I don't think really researched Ghana. You know, they just said, oh, this place is inviting us, so let's go. And
well, I mean, people have been talking about Ghana for a long time. What you talking about? Like,
oh, I know,
Ghana,
but
right?
recently, you know, since 2019 and the Beyond the Return campaign, there's been a lot of interest in coming here.
Yes.
And I don't think a lot of people did due diligence in researching their new home.
You know what? I don't know if that's true per se. I will say this, that I think that a lot of information on the internet and on YouTube really glorified the experience of coming to Ghana and what life in Ghana could be like, without really talking about the challenges, without talking about the downside. And I think that's where we kind of stepped in. So when people were doing research, I think they were getting like the glowy kind of like sparkles and unicorns version of
So they
what
didn't
Ghana
look
but
into
because
what Ghana really was.
well, because they didn't take the time to come and live a non-vacation life here first before deciding to sell everything and come. And I know you consider that all part of like, it's research, but I know how some people are saying like, I watched a bunch of videos. I totally know what it's like. It's like Jamaica.
No, it's not.
I mean, I think there's misinformation. And if you aren't putting your boots on the ground here to experience what it's like non-vacation mind frame, or frame of mind, it's gonna be a challenge. I don't think you get the right information on that one. So I get what you're saying. Do you think there's a culture clash here too? Do you feel like there's like people come from America and when they get here, they can't assimilate, they can't fit themselves in culturally?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people come from the States with this mindset that I'm from the States. And it's, hey, calm down, you just from the States. That don't mean anything, you know? And they come with this, hey, how come this isn't like this? Or how come this isn't? And it's like there's no appreciation for where you are. You have to, you come to Ghana and you have to appreciate what's here, not compare it to what you left,
Yeah. And we do hear a lot of people make that reference point.
Yeah.
Well, so these are reasons why people might leave. These are the things that will drive the exodus, if there is one. But what we're seeing is not that at all, right? Like,
No.
I actually feel, and maybe you'll disagree with me on this one, but when we are at our expat parties and we are hanging out with other people in the diaspora, I feel like we behind. Like, we're with them and they're like, oh yeah, we bought our property, we're building. Oh yes, we bought 2 cars, we do this. And I'm like, how are you doing all of this? Like, what magic do you have?
Yeah.
Can I have, are you a prince?
There are people, I mean, I can name out a couple of neighborhoods, in Cebu, in the Cape Coast area, out that way, Jeff Traco, East Legon Hills, people they're living lives. I mean, Cebu,
they're buying houses,
they're
cash,
houses, land,
building.
and everybody's building out there. Jeff Traco, people buying houses out there, Community 25. They're movers and shakers here. There's people in Pram Pram that have built their house in the past 2 years since we've been here 3 years.
I know.
And it's like, whoa, they just finished up with their house. They're inviting us over for their housewarming party.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. So we're kind of on the back end of getting things to that point. But there are so many people, like Io said, that when we meet them and they tell us, oh, we've been here 2-3 years now, and we have land and we built and we're doing this business. And we're like, oh, wow.
Some of them are not doing business. Some of them are still doing business in the United States. Some of them are retired and they're using their pensions or their retirement accounts. Some of them are exploring business opportunities here. And all of those are viable options if you come with a plan. But when I sit down and I look at the success that so many other people are having in the same system, it just makes you realize that there's not one monolithic way to come to Ghana. There's no mass exodus from Ghana by African Americans because there's no one type of African American here.
Right.
It's different whether you have kids, whether you're coming as a married couple, or if you're coming single looking to find a little love.
Hey, I've recently had a guest come stay with us, and she called me, Tony, guess what I did the last time I was there? I was like, what? I got married.
Yeah, and why didn't we get invited to the wedding? Hello, I feel like we are the matchmakers for that one.
Right.
Yeah, so there's no monolithic person, which means there's not one movement.
Right. And in listening to some videos, I had to think about who this person was saying were leaving. And I had to agree with who he said was leaving. And it's the social media influencers. That
are we social media influencers?
I don't consider myself a social media influencer.
Okay.
Even though we are on the platform and we have that
Voice.
we
Maybe?
have that
Okay.
voice,
All right.
but that's not what we do.
Right.
You have your business.
Yes.
I have my business.
Right. In fact, I don't even know if I count this as a business.
Right. This isn't like a income source for us.
No.
This isn't what we consider as an income source. So we're very different in that.
Yeah.
We don't look at this as a monetary thing.
Yeah. Back in 2021, I can remember a handful of folks coming in, and their income plan was to create content for YouTube related to Ghana, and that was what they were going to source as their sole income here. And I was like,
Good luck.
so I understand if those folks are
if
leaving.
if you're coming to live in a bush in a village or somewhere, you may do all right.
No.
Well,
I don't know. But like if that's the person that's leaving, we do know, and we can see from other YouTubers who have been in Ghana for a long time who have left.
mhm.
So I mean, I guess I can see that as a point.
Yes. However, I think the social media influencers that come to Ghana are such a small percentage of people that are actually moving here, that to say that all these people make up the exodus of people leaving, I'm like, I can see they're the people leaving, but there's no exodus of people leaving.
Yeah.
The people who came trying to do this one thing, banking off of popularity, well, they didn't last.
Probably, they might be, but I like you said, I think that's such a small. I mean, let's really contextualize this year. 2019 started the year of return. Around 2021, 2022, they estimated about 1,500 Americans came to Ghana, a country of what, 26, 28 million people.
Mhm.
So like, this many people moved to Ghana. And since then, some estimates bring it up to 3,000. So we're not talking about a
Tens
gigantic
of thousands of people.
right. And if you think that those 3,000 people are all YouTubers,
that's outrageous.
That's just not what it is. But what I do think has also happened is that as we add more years on since the year of return, I think we are going to continue to see that there are some people who came and they lived here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, and they realized that this is not the only place for them, that they can go back and forth, or that they missed their American lives more than they realized. I think it's just not permanent for all people.
Correct. I have to agree with you on that one.
Oh wow, we agreed on that one.
Yeah.
Is it the place for you?
Kicking and screaming. The only way they'll get me to leave.
Hi, I'm Leo. Subscribe right now.
So, I also had to look at one other thing in this video.
Oh, okay.
And the other videos that brought this subject to light.
I'm ready.
And that was people who made those videos were not in Ghana.
Do you remember back when we first started this channel, we were not in
Ghana. We were not in Ghana.
Right, because we were documenting our entire move process from before leaving. So we were talking about the reason why, how we were getting ready, selling off our things, but making a budget. So we were not in Ghana. But once we got to Ghana, we had a lot of people in our comments who were like, you shouldn't talk, you're not even in Ghana. I was like, no,
we're here.
We're here. We're here full time. Like we kind of don't ever leave.
So I think all of what the person was saying, and he touched on something else about the Beyond the Return was a failed campaign. And I was like, it failed so bad, they added a 10-year Beyond the Return campaign to it. That made me realize something. This guy may be an operative or something like that. I don't trust anything he says, because if he was here in Ghana, he would know that there was a 10-year Beyond the Return campaign, and that everywhere you go at all of these tourist sites in Ghana, they're playing off of that, and you feel welcomed at all of these tourist sites, and you feel that somebody's paying attention to people are coming here. So when he said it was a failed campaign, that made me realize, yep, this is an operative. He's one of those people who probably worked with the embassy holding up your visa or something like that.
You sound so like operative. What kind of
Serious business.
I mean, it just sounds a little bit,
So I guess for me it was hard for me to trust what he was saying because he wasn't here, and it didn't sound like he had been here.
and I agree with that. But one of the points that has been made in multiple places here is that the year of return may have initially started as a tourism campaign to increase the influx of dollars in the economy, and that Ghana realized that profit,
Right.
and tried to convert that into the Beyond the Return campaign, but hasn't been able to really capture the same monetary benefit or convert that monetary benefit into something tangible for Ghanaians here on the ground, like for daily life here.
Yes.
And I was trying to come to grips with that concept because I felt like, I mean, just based on COVID testing at the airport alone, there had to have been a financial benefit to the coffers here in Ghana. So I don't think it was failed in that sense. And I'm surprised that someone would call it failed at all.
But again, I was looking at the source, and it sounded as if this guy was not in Ghana and had not been to Ghana. But he had a lot to say about it, which was like confusing.
Conspiracy theory operatives.
The operatives.
Well, either way, I think it's just really important to point out here as we kind of come to the end of this video that if you are a person who is living in the West, in America, in another country in Africa, don't count Ghana out. I feel like this idea that there's a mass exodus makes it sound like Ghana's over and people are leaving. And I definitely don't get that feeling.
Yeah. So don't let others deter you from, coming and taking a peek and seeing what Ghana has to offer. Because I'm here 3 years in now, and I'm still trying to figure out all of the things Ghana has to offer. Every time I think I got it down and settled, and there's something else hit me upside my head, like, hey, got this over here. Hey, got that over there. So that's the
new T-shirt, Ghana, hitting you upside the head every day. Is that that's just my T-shirt? just for me.
Yeah,
just for me. I agree with you on that one, and I think it becomes critically important for people who are considering moving to Ghana to take the time to visit first to see if it's really for you. But if you are not interested in moving from your home country, just come and take a visit. It's a great place to visit, just like you would go to Cancun or Jamaica, or just come and visit and see what experience you can have. I think that's the. Oh, why are you looking at me crazy?
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Trust your Expat Life Ghana group here.
Yeah. Do you know what? I will say that too. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because we bring you the good, we bring you the bad, we bring you the ugly, and everything in between. So if you want to hear the real deal, check out the videos that we're posting.
Yep. And if you're planning your first trip to Ghana, check out what we have to offer on our website at expatlifeghana.com, where we offer full-service tours and pickups and drop-offs and day trips to see the best of what Ghana has to offer.
Plus, we have accommodations at our lodge.
At our lodge. We have a lodge.
Which has full-service options for you. Definitely check that out on the website, expatlifeghana.com.
Yep. Hit that like button if you're still with us and subscribe.
And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can join us right here on YouTube the last Friday of every month when we go live and answer all of your questions about life in Ghana and what we've been up to.
And with that, I'm still here. Ciao out for now.
You're still here? Like,
I'm
what's going to happen?
still here. Like, I'm not leaving.
Yeah, everybody knows you're not
Hey,
living.
everybody know that. They were like, yo, saw Tony on the plane. He was just checking it out. Make sure every safety check.
They won't let you on their plane.
I
What
know,
you
they
talking
were like,
about?
Tony, you're not leaving. Gone. Quit wasting people's time.
I just found it really interesting they were talking about the exodus. It was just like,
Yeah.
but they were talking about the people who are leaving are the people who don't have any money. And I was like, the people who don't have money, how they get here in the first place?
Wait,
You know
and how they
expensive
leaving?
it is.
Because if you came on a one-way trip, how you get? Because them tickets ain't no, they're like $15,
Right.
$17, $18, $900
Even
for.
beyond the ticket, you got to get your
Let me go back.
passport, you got to get your visa, you got to, I mean, like, you got to, there's
Yeah,
the idea that there was like,
you
this-
got to come to get to Ghana. You got to have some money.
right. The dude said, I wrote this down. Y'all, I wrote it down on my little clipboard.
What do you say?
The dude said they came with no money and are living off the locals.
And locals.
Who would have living off the locals?
Walking out of his bum hole.
Living off the locals, like what would that even living?
You know,
off the
I
locals?
don't know no locals that do.
That let
let
me
me
live
see.
off of them. Who would
No,
that?
no. I was like, wait, I know.
No. They might let you come over for dinner one night.
I know,
but
they're
you're not
gonna-
live
They will
off
invite
the
you over,
locals.
but dinner, well, okay. Dinner was yesterday. You can go home today.
That sounds like some American stuff, you know, like, oh, these immigrants are coming into the country and living off of our. That's not it here.
Yeah, he lost me when he said, "Come here,
Yeah,
look
when he said that, I was like,
Yeah, you really don't know Ghana.
so no exodus, right?
Nada.
That's some YouTube foolishness. Not from us. You can trust us. These are faces you can trust.
Trust the people here, not the people talk about here.
There you go.